welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to another huge day of Barca news. Every day right now is producing something significant, and coming up today we're going to be talking about the exit of Jordi Alba. He will leave the club at the end of the season. That has been confirmed today, and we're going to be talking all about that along with Jules Kounde. What is the latest on him after yesterday's news bombshell, of course? We are going to be talking about the latest on that, along with looking back at last night's performance against Valladolid from Barça, which was absolutely dreadful. So all of that is coming up. Thanks for joining me, and let's do it. But firstly, guys, today's big news video is coming to you courtesy of Manscaped, who are here to get you ready for the summer, because it's on its way, guys. It is coming. For some of you, it may already be here, and you want to be feeling good in the sunshine, don't you? You want to be feeling good and looking good, and Manscaped will have you covered, because take, for instance, the lawnmower, which will keep you in tip-top condition. It's not really for mowing the lawn, but, well, you get the idea on that one. And they've also upgraded their Weed Whacker, now the 2.0 version, which will keep everything nicely under control. And until the end of this month, guys, you can get 20% off your Manscaped order. All you got to do is use the code TalkFCB at checkout. That there is going to secure you a nice little saving, and wherever you are in the world, you can get your hands on some truly fantastic men's grooming products here courtesy of Manscaped. Speedy delivery on all of them, and if you do indeed make a purchase today, thank you indeed for your tremendous support to the channel. It's much appreciated and a big help indeed. So Manscaped is there for you guys, and make sure you use the code TalkFCB for 20% off. But if we do indeed kick off now with the big breaking news today, Jordi Alba will leave Barca at the end of the season. That has been 100% confirmed now by the club today, and Alba has been contemplating his future for several weeks now. He's been sort of deciding what to do. Should I stay? Should I go? Is this the right moment? And I think Busquets' exit sort of helped him along. We've seen Piqué go, of course, this season. Busquets now will follow, and Jordi Alba has indeed made the decision to say goodbye and move on to the next chapter in his great career. And I think this is a huge departure. I think firstly because this is another significant player from the club, a player who has achieved everything during his time here. Over a decade now that he's spent in a Barca shirt in the first team, and no doubt at his best, Jordi Alba was right up there as one of the best fullbacks in the whole world. I think he's demonstrated that for both club and country now over many, many years, and he will get a great send-off from the fans, and indeed, he will deserve that. But there's also the other side of this too. There is also the financial side of things, which is also really significant in this departure, because unlike Busquets, whose contract was set to expire at the end of the season anyway, so Busquets' wages weren't even counted in next season's FFP, but Jordi Alba, that's a different story. He is under contract right now. He has technically 1 year left on that deal up until 2024, but now he's cutting that short, and it was set to be a huge payout too, because according to multiple reports, Jordi Alba was set to earn 36 million next season in that 1 year. That is a staggering sum of money there, and that's all because of lots of deferred wages that had been pushed back. And the big point right now is Romero says that Jordi Alba has now agreed to give up 50% of that deferred salary, which is a really, really big deal, and respect to him for that. That's a huge commitment to the club. That's really helping us out to waive 50% of those deferred wages. Really, really nice touch there from Jordi Alba. And just think now, guys, what that means ahead of the summer. Moving into the summer transfer window, freeing up that FFP space, that margin, that is really going to help us chasing our targets and negotiating this summer to bring players in accordance with La Liga's restrictions. And so now on Sunday, in our final home game of the season at the Camp Nou, we're going to say goodbye to both Busquets and Jordi Alba, along with the stadium itself, of course. It's going to be a really emotional day, really emotional game, that one, with lots of farewells. And according to Romero today, it's not only going to be Busquets, it's not only going to be Alba, but there is apparently going to be a third farewell on Sunday. And let me know down below, who do you guess that is? Who do you feel right now is on the verge of leaving? Let me know in the comments, because could it be one of these players right here? Because this was the lineup indeed, guys, that we saw from Barça against Real Valladolid last night, and it's safe to say it was just awful. From the first minute, literally, Valladolid almost scored immediately. It was a terrible showing from Barça. Not in any way, shape or form did we commit to the game, did we show any kind of authority. And look, I know that we've won the league. I understand that. I understand that technically there's nothing to play for. But come on, I mean, to be 3-0 down to Valladolid, to lose back-to-back games here, it's not a good look, and it doesn't really reflect well on the players, on the coaching staff here. You still have to give us something. You've still got to kind of produce something to show you're worthy to play in the Barca shirt. And I just think when you look at that performance last night, guys, from the players who were called upon, it only further illustrates the need to improve our depth. It only further illustrates here the importance this summer of adding more quality. What we have right now is not enough in the whole squad in terms of quality backup, quality depth. We simply do not have it. And I just hope here these defeats against Real Sociedad, now this one against Valladolid, I hope that sends out a message. We can't afford to be complacent ahead of the summer. We can't afford to think, oh, well, just because we won the league, we're on the right track with everything. We still have to improve, and there are still changes that must be made to this squad, including players coming in, but most importantly too, certain players on their way out. But then, of course, there is the subject of Jules Kounde. What is happening right now with him after widespread reports yesterday, of course, that said he is open to leaving Barca? Is that really the case? Have there been any developments on that? Of course, we know that's very closely connected with Kounde's desire to play as a centre-back and no longer as a right-back next season. That was his way of telling the club, enough is enough. I want to play in the centre of defence. Now, before last night's game against Real Valladolid, Mattia Almani again spoke to the media, and he was asked about Kounde and the situation, the rumours that we were hearing, and it was interesting to see Almani did not shut them down. He actually replied there and said, it is an internal situation that we are going to solve internally. So Almani there keeping everything very quiet, not giving away any specific details to the media, saying, look, we're going to sort this in-house. But he didn't deny there is a situation. There is something going on behind the scenes with Kounde. Xavi, after the game, seemed to be a different kind of tone. He actually said, we've spoken with one another, and I feel we left happy. He said, I was very clear with him. I know there's a lot of noise right now, but the player left happy, and so did I. So I don't see much of a problem. So Xavi there saying, look, there's no problem on my side. I was very clear with the player, and I do wonder what happened in those discussions. Did Xavi talk about the position? Did he talk about next season, his plans for Kounde, where he's going to be in the field? And there does seem to be right now a bit of a disconnect, I feel. Maybe not between Xavi and Kounde, but I think the board at Barca and Kounde's camp. Because there have been a lot of leaks now over the past 24 hours on both sides. Kounde saying maybe I'm looking to leave, I'm open to leaving. The Barca board saying maybe if we get a big offer, we will maybe look into that. And I just think right now, this is a situation that is going on behind the scenes. There are certainly discussions taking place, because it is quite interesting when you look at the stats right now, because actually Kounde for me has played more at centre-back than maybe you feel like this season. I think he's actually played quite a lot of games there. He has played the majority of the league ones at right-back, but he has had his chances at centre-back, and I think we all kind of feel at the moment, though, Kounde is a wonderful defender. He can grow and become an absolute powerhouse at centre-back, maybe alongside Araujo there, of course, in the long term, but I think based on what we've seen this season, there does still need to be improvement. I wouldn't say that Kounde every single game at centre-back has been rock solid, has earned his spot to be there all the time. Like we said yesterday, there would be competition. Christensen would be pushing him for that spot. Araujo is already there. There would be the option, of course, to play as well with three at the back. But I think, to be honest, guys, especially now we just spoken about squad depth, about having quality in your depth, that's exactly the kind of thing I'd be talking about there, whereby you have Araujo, Kounde, Christensen, Inigo Martinez as your four centre-backs. Because that, for me, right there says we are 100% covered. If we have an injury, if we have a suspension, if we have a crisis at centre-back, we are covered. We've got it locked down in that area. That's what quality depth looks like. So I don't think we should sort of fall into the trap here of thinking, okay, we've got Araujo, we've got Christensen. Do we really need Kounde? Because we need depth. We need quality, not just in one or two areas, but right the way through our team. So certainly right now, I don't think we've heard the end of this situation, the end of this transfer saga. I do believe the board would consider a big offer. They would certainly think about it because a big offer would do big things. But let's not forget about adding that depth and making sure that next season Xavi has options and at least two quality players for each position right the way through his squad. So please, guys, do indeed let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what has been another really big day at the club. What do you make there of Jordi Alba's departure from Barça and the farewell that he and Busquets will get on Sunday at the camp? Now, also let me know your thoughts on the performance from Barça last night, which was not good, and indeed there, the latest on Jules Kounde. I will see you soon when there will be more news. You just know that there's more to come, and lots of it, and I'll be sharing all of those moments with you guys. Thank you indeed for watching today, for getting involved, and a big shout out to Manscaped as well. Thank you indeed for that. I will see you soon, but until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.